So we have different settings where we do the blood gas analysis in clinical situations. The scalp pH can be measured during intrapartum monitoring where there is abnormal cardiotochographs. The cord blood gas is done as an indication of the condition at birth. And in any sick baby, we do the blood gas as part of the initial assessment. In ventilated babies, we use the blood gas analysis to guide ongoing changes and treatment changes in the ventilation. And we also use the gas as a tool to assess the need for mechanical ventilation. So it's used as a tool to monitor the response to treatment measures like volume replacement and correction of acidosis, as well as a guide to fluid and electrolyte management, especially if you have electrolytes added in your blood gas. So remember that this is one way to use a smaller volume to reduce your bloodletting and blood losses. In terms of cord pH, it's not routinely required in all the deliveries. However, where you have fetal compromise or the baby comes out in a poor condition, you do need to request it. And double clamping of the cord as a routine will allow you to take the sample even after the baby is delivered. So if you take the sample within 3 to 5 minutes of delivery within the double clamp segment, it will be reflective of the fetal condition at birth. The pH of less than 7.2 is not uncommon, and less than 7.1 needs evaluation. However, less than 7 is worrying and needs close monitoring. Not every baby with the cord pH less than 7 will have HIE. The lower the pH is, the higher the risk. You can refer to my talk on perinatal asphyxia, which is available on the channel as well, where I discuss that less than 6.8 cord pH is associated with HIE in more than 60% of the time, and less than 7 cord pH, it's only about 10 to 15% of the time that you have HIE. However, the baby has gone through a significant acidosis, and so evaluation and monitoring is important, especially the diving reflex could have protected the brain, and you need to look at renal compromise and so on. In terms of neonatal assessment, all sick babies would need a IV cannula insertion. So you have a cannula insertion usually as a first step when you assess the baby. You do a blood sugar, and a blood gas can be part of that as well because it gives you valuable information. A venous sample is not as accurate because the carbon dioxide is going to be higher, and because the carbon dioxide is higher, the pH also is lower. So the carbonic acid content is more, so the pH will drop. So you should evaluate that keeping these 2 points in mind. And the PO2, of course, you would not look at the venous gas for PO2 at all. And because your carbon dioxide is high, the pH is low, the bicarbonate is interpreted from that by the Hasselbalch-Anderson equation. So that is going to reflect this change as well. So always have a correction, the pH of the pH may come down by 0.03 to 0.05 in the venous sample. And in a poorly perfused child, this may be worse. The carbon dioxide again may be 10 centimeter of water higher sometimes. If it is reasonably normal, you can avoid immediate repeat sample. However, if it is abnormal, do not make decisions based on the venous sample, and you should repeat an arterial or a capillary sample before you make a decision to ventilate or correct the acidosis and so on. So the venous gas is like a baseline on which you can decide the overall condition. If it's normal, it's okay. If it's abnormal, you need to repeat to confirm with the appropriate sample. A capillary sample with a warm heel is fairly reliable, and in most babies, once you lose the arterial line, that's the only option we have. The warming of the heel should be stressed on, and you shouldn't burn the heel, obviously. Arterialization of the capillary, we call it, and even then the PO2 is not going to be reliable because it will be lower. Avoid using paraffin before you take the gas. It can damage the machine as well. Train staff both in the exact position of sampling, avoid the central part of the heel, as well as to avoid squeezing. When you squeeze, when you don't allow it to relax fully to fill up, it will cause more blood gas abnormality. Take blood gas sample first if possible when there is a free flow. The Lancet device should be used with a depth less than 1 millimeter.